Mikadma fanav betoda bizmiron arialo. Arbaim shana akut bedor v'omaram toyele v'havem v'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati be'api im yavon el menuchati שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה הוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו, הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובאו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בהר קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך עבדי כותב אל בעל לימוד, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים בתגל הארץ, ירמיה ומלואו, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל עצי יער לפני אדוני יבא, כי יבא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט הבל וצדק, ועמים באמונתו, these 17 or 51. Shama batisma chetzion v'tagelna b'not Yehuda leman mishpatecha Adonai, ki ata Adonai Elyon al kol haaretz, me'od na'aleit al kol Elohim, ohavei Adonai zinura, shomer nafshot chasidav miyad reshayim yatzilehem, or zaru ala tzadik ol yishrei lev simcha, simcho tzadikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher kodsho, mizmor shel Adonai shir chadash. לפני אדוני קיבל לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים. אדוני מלך ירגזו עמים, יושב קרובים תנו את הארץ. משה ואהרון בכהניו, ושמואל בקורא שמו, קוראים אל אדוני בעמוד ענן ידבר עליהם, שמרו עדותיו, וחוק נתן למו, אדוני אלוהינו, אתה איתם. אל נושא היית להם, ונוקם על עלילותם, רוממו, אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו להר קודשו. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. 2054, please rise. Mizmor LeDavid Avul Adonai Bnei Elim Avul Adonai Gavon Baozai Avul Adonai Kevod Shemo Yishtachavu Adonai Hadrat Kodesh Gol Adonai Alamayim El HaKavod Yirim Adonai Alamayim Rabim Gol Adonai Bakoach Gol Adonai Behadar Gol Adonai Shober Arazim Vayishaber Adonai Edar Ze'el Banon Vayargidem Gemo Egel Lebanon Vesirion Kem Gemo Ben Re'emim Hay Gol Adonai Chotzef Lavodesh Gol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Gol Adonai Cholel Ayalot Vayechesov Yeharod Uvechalot Kulo Merkavod Adonai Lama Boyashav Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitein Adonai Yivarech Namo Bashalom Hey Anna Bekoa Gedula Yemincha Tatir Zerura Habel Rinat Amecha Sagavenu Tarenu Nora Hanna Bekoa Gedula Yemincha Tatir Zerura Tatir Zerura Kabel Rinat Amecha Sagavenu Tarenu Nora Yada Page 21 or 56. Lechadoni ligradgala pene shabanega bela shamor bezachor bedivor echad ishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad L'shem ultiferet veletila Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Ligrat Shabbat Lechu V'nilcha Ki Mekor HaBeracha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Maseh B'machshava Tchila Lecha Dodi Ligrat Gala V'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Migdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumitzihi Mitoch HaHafecha Rav Lach Shevet B'Hemek HaBacha V'hu Yachamol Alaychem Lecha Dodi Ligrat Gala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Ligrat Gala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Hidnahari Me'afar Kumi Libshi Bigdei Tivartecha Mi Al Yad Ben Ishai Be'ed Halachmi Korva Hel Nafshi Gehala Lecha Dodi Ligrat Gala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Ligrat Gala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Hitoreri Giva Horech Kumi Uri Shir Daberi Kevod Adonai Alayich Nigla Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Ligrat Gala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lo Devoshi shabaneka bela lechadodi ligrad gala penei shabaneka bela 23 or 59 Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat Agadlu Masechaya Meoram Kumach Shivotecha Magadlu Masechaya Kumach Shivotecha. Od Yenu B'Seba D'Sheni V'Ran Animiu Le'agid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri V'Lo Avla Tabo Adonai Malach Geud Lavesh Lavesh Edo Techanu Numel Leved Chana V'Kodesh Adonai Le'orech Yamim. This week we observe the Artzeiten of Liesel Carol Stein, mother of Jackie Stein, Vladimir Schusterman, father of Yelena Spitzer, Alex Singer, father of Mark Singer, Irv Samuels, uncle of Melanie Samuels, Herman Stern, grandfather of Joe Goldenberg, Lionel Forer, father of Joe Goldenberg, Milton Kelber, father of Hildy Martin, Gertrude Tsetso, mother of Elizabeth Tsetso, and Seymour Varadi, who is memorialized on our board. We also recall Rita Saltzman of blessed memory, aunt of Sybil Rosenberg, who died just 2 days ago at the age of 96. The funeral was earlier today. May her memory and the memories of all those whom we recall be blessings. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 62 or 24. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabah be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shmei de kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. O say shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. So nice to see all of you. I want to share a thought about the Sota ritual, which we read about this week. And I want to share also sort of a meta thought, which is related to the thought about why I am many years drawn to speaking about the Sota ritual. So the Sota ritual, for anyone who doesn't know, is this rather disturbing, certainly patriarchal, and maybe misogynist legal procedure that's described in Parshat Naso, where a suspected adulteress, a woman who's not been faithful to her husband, is brought to the temple before the priests, and she drinks this sort of magic potion, which is going to have fearsome consequences if she's guilty, and is going to exonerate her by doing nothing if she's innocent. It's almost like a witch trial. That's kind of what's imagining. It's a troubling text for sure. And the reason why I find myself drawn to giving drashot about it and learning about it each year is because for me, it really is an exercise in patience and forgiveness. It's a verse that would be very easy to ignore and to sort of abominate and say, that's not for us. And it takes, I think, an amount of patience, an amount of commitment to say, no, I'm going to try to learn something from this anyways, which I think is a positive exercise when it comes to texts which are precious to us, and the whole Torah is precious to us on some level. I think it's also a good practice for people that are precious to us, who are often difficult in our lives. And, sometimes it's true, people are so difficult that we have to say, no, those people aren't for us anymore, but often no. And for people that are precious to us and for verses that are precious to us, I think, for me, the Sota is a reminder to be patient and try to listen and try to think and try to stay engaged. And what I want to share about the Sota ritual, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow also in a different way, but what I want to share about it now is a Mishnah, actually, from Masechet Sota, where the ancient rabbis sort of describe a little bit more exactly how this process works, at least in their imagination. And the thing to understand about this Mishnah that I'm going to share is that there is, unlike in the Torah, where the presumption, it seems, is that the woman is probably innocent, in the Mishnah, the presumption is very much that the woman is guilty, because the understanding is a man only brings his wife to the temple for this horrible procedure if she's been isolated alone, spending time with a man who the husband already said to her, I don't want you spending time alone with that guy. Which, again, is very patriarchal, but again, so that's why, but then she did. And so the presumption is that's the only situation where a man can actually bring his wife up on these charges. So the presumption is that the woman is likely guilty of adultery, okay? And in the context of that, the rabbis say this, right before she's about to undergo this ritual, which is a really humiliating and sort of scary ritual, which involves pulverizing the name of God on a piece of paper, which is itself a major, major event. We're not supposed to destroy the name of God, and mixing it up and drinking it, and has these fearsome consequences if she's guilty. And this is what they say to her. They say to her before, they say, my daughter, much is done. Much is done by wine. Much is done by frivolity. Much is done in youth. Much is done under the influence of bad neighbors. Perhaps you'd like to confess and not go through this whole ritual. And they specify if you confess, she gets divorced, and then that's it. Perhaps you'd like to confess rather than going through all of this. And I think to hear something that I think is very profound about this Mishnah, you have to be willing, and it's hard for me, but you have to be willing to look past the patriarchy, certainly. You have to be willing to look past some of the misogyny, which I think is embedded in the text. And you have to hear what the rabbis are saying, and I think they are saying this, even in the context of all that. They are saying that, so okay, people do things that they shouldn't do. People transgress. And there are consequences for it. She doesn't get, it's not like an exoneration. But they say, look, things happen in life. People drink a little bit. Or people are young. People make mistakes. And your mistakes do not necessarily need to lead to the worst possible of all outcomes. And that it's okay, actually, on some level, to say publicly, yes, I did this thing. And it's going to cause a rupture. It is. It's going to cause a rupture in the lives of people here. But we don't actually want you to go through this horrible ideal. You don't need to. You can admit what you did. And you can kind of move on with your life in some way. And I think you respond. And I think, for me, I think this is an important message. Not about adultery necessarily, maybe about adultery, but about all kinds of things. I think it's very hard, often, obviously, to publicly admit when we've done things wrong. And I think, God willing, we can find ourselves in a community among friends where we can admit when we've made some mistakes, and we can grow forth from them, and our community won't punish us to the full extent of what is possible. So that's something I hear from Sota. Yes, Sandra, what's your...
It just disturbed me a lot because it sounds like they were offering a plea bargain, right? And it's a plea bargain that could encourage anyone to say, I did it, rather than subject yourself to drinking something that could kill you even if you're innocent. So it's a plea bargain that could encourage someone to lie. It would encourage someone to lie.
I mean, if you're innocent, so I think, right, it's interesting, right? Like
the procedure is so awful that
so if you're innocent, so the procedure is humiliating. Yeah. So the woman is humiliated physically. In terms of the drinking it, so it's an interesting, it depends on if you're a naturalist or not. Like if you think, so basically what the water is it's water that they take some parchment and ink and they sort of grind it up and put it in there. So it might taste like dirty water and kind of gross. I guess if you're guilty, it magically is going to kill you. If you're innocent, it's like you had a sip of gross water, which is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. The procedure, though, beforehand, where they undo your hair and take off your clothes, is humiliating, right? So it might, right? It could encourage people, an innocent woman, to say, to lie. Although, if she's innocent, then she goes back with her husband and he can never divorce her. Now, you might say, from our perspective, well, of course she wouldn't want to be married to this jerk who made her do this when she's innocent. But in their imagination, and this is probably true, it was generally better for a woman to remain married because being sort of a single woman out in the Roman world without a man to protect you was challenging. And that's, again, that's also problematic, obviously, but that's sort of the assumption. Yeah? That's true too. That's true too, right? It's humiliating to be divorced too because you are found guilty of adultery. So it's not, again, it's not, none of this, and none of this fully rescues the text. The text, the Sota ritual is one of the more, I think, troubling things that we read each year, at least from a contemporary kind of perspective. It's very troubling. But for me, it is sort of an exercise in patience. And I think there are things to be learned from it as well. And I think they are saying, like, they're not saying, it's interesting, they don't just say, hey, maybe you want to confess. They say, look, there are reasons why things could have happened. You could have been young, or you could have been frivolous, or you could have had a bad neighbor. Like, it could have been kind of the guy's fault, and like, things happen, and they're offering her a way to move on.
Minimally, it serves as a deterrent, I think. The idea that you can have that.
Yeah, that seems to be the way the rabbis... By the way, the Sota ritual, I don't know in the ancient days, but we're rabbinic Jews. The Sota ritual, it's not clear that it was ever done. And the rabbis seem to think that part of it is just a scary story to sort of keep people in line, which, again, that too is problematic. But it's not necessarily that this was really a part of ancient Jewish practice necessarily. Maybe it was an ancient Israelite practice, but... The other thing that people say about the Sota ritual, and this is not really related to this, but is that if you don't think magic exists, then a woman who goes through it is always found innocent, right? Because she's not drinking poison. She's drinking water with some parchment mashed into it. It's not toxic. It's unpleasant. But what's that? It's not right. It's not like the ritual itself is scary because you're in public and whatever. But if you drink it and your belly doesn't distend, you don't have these horrific physical consequences, which presumably, if you don't believe in magic, you never would, then it's possible that the whole purpose of the Sota ritual, at least from the Torah's perspective, is to exonerate a woman whose husband is in a fit of jealousy. Which is also not great. Which is also not great, but also not quite as horrific as unlike the witch. That's right. There aren't mortal. There don't seem to be real mortal consequences to it in the way that. Right. Exactly. Yeah. All right. We will continue with Baruch Hu, which is on page 64 or 28. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavir ben yom uben laila Adonai tzevot shemo el chai v'kayam tamim l'chaleinu leolam vaed. Baruch et Adonai hamari v'aravim ahavat olam beit Yisrael chamim. V'avatecha al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch et Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta heit Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Metzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha Veshinantam Levanecha V'dibarta bam V'shivtecha V'beitecha Uv'lechtecha V'derech Uv'shokbecha Uv'kumecha Uv'shartam Leot Al Yadecha V'hayu Letotafot B'neinecha Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha v'yayim shemot ishma shenech. Adonai Elohechem Emed 32 or 70. Malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha raba ve'ameru chulam amin kamocha b'helim Adonai min kamocha nedar b'hakodesh noradehi lodo sefele malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei yam livnei Moshe ze Elianu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak menu Baruch Adonai gal Yisrael ashki menu and shalom amidim l'kem l'chayim Ushmor tzeitenu vo'enu l'chaim ol shalom ata v'yad olam Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha Baruch Adonai haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise, 3474. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש יקדש ויקדש שמי רבה ואמר יברא ירדה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתברך ונעשה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. 35 or 76. Shalom. Page 37. Ve'al kulam yitbarach ve'yitromam yitbarach ve'yitromam Shimcha malkeinu tamid le'olam va'ed ve'al kulam yitbarach ve'yitromam yitbarach ve'yitromam Shimcha malkeinu tamid le'olam va'ed 47 or 89. Vayichulu hashamayim be'aretz v'chol tzivam Vayichel Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa Vayishbor bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi Vayikadesh oto Kivo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, האל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ, מגן אבות בדברו, מחיים מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש אין כמוהו. המניח לאמור ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם. לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מעון הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג. זכר למעשה בראשית, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. סבנו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, ודר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה ישראל מקדשי שמך, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. יקרא ויקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא נברא יהודי במלך מלכותי, בחיי חון בימי חון ובחיי בכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיים. יתברך וישתבח בפר ובג'ור מנסה, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמית קודשה, בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמא ואמרו, אמן. תקבל צלום לדון דכל ישראל, קודם ישמעיה ואמרו, אמן. יש שלום מן שמעיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, והוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, amen. Kiddush is on page 49. You guys want to come do Kiddush with me? Yeah, do it with me. Yeah, Mabel, you can come too. All right. Mabel, you got to stand up on this one. Yes. All right. All right, ready? Everyone say Savri. Savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra kodesh, zecher l'zion Yisraelim, ki banu b'charta, v'otanu kidashta, b'kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshcha, b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu, baruch. Amen. You guys can share because you guys are siblings. I mean, you can share too, but you guys share germs anyways, yeah. All right. Yes, go. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'atei gidula v'yotzer bereshit, v'lo asanu k'goyei haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'olam, v'anachnu borim u'mishachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shem shamayim v'yosed haaretz. Hagalau vizman kariv vimru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam u'amei almaya. Yibarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'ruchu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Yasher koach to Vera and Ethan and Mabel for Kiddush. This week's Kiddush is sponsored and also cooked by Sybil Rosenberg in celebration of the 70th anniversary of her bat mitzvah, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Sybil, as always. It's going to be delicious. And to sponsor future Kiddush, please contact the office. There are dates available in July and August. Upcoming events, next Saturday, June 14th, is the Shabbat celebrating the Pelham High School seniors who are graduating, Ben Sasson, Sasha Herzog, and Justin Cullen. Mazal tov to all of them. And also we'll be celebrating Lori Weber's ordination. Chazan Lori Weber, who's been a teacher for many, many years. So please come for that. The annual meeting is Wednesday, June 18th at 7 p.m. And then Ethan's bar mitzvah is coming up that next weekend, which is very exciting too. And good Shabbos, everyone. We'll continue with Yigdal on page 53 or 114. Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimtza b'nei el metziuto echad ben yachid keyechudo nelam v'gam ensof le'achduto ein lo mutaguf ve'ein lo guf lo nachrochela kedushato kadmon b'chol davar asher nivra rishon b'reshit bereshito hino adon olam v'chol notzar yorei gulato malchuto shafan buato netano el anshe sulato v'tifarto lo kam Yisrael k'Moshe navi ma'abid et tmunato Torah Natan le'amo el yad milyonem anbeito lo yachalifa el ve'lo yamir dato le'olamim zulato sofer yodea setarenu mari b'sof davar bekadmato gomel ish chesed kemifalo noten rashara kerishato Yishlach l'ketz yamim meshichenu livdot m'chakekei Yeshuato Meitim yechayel le'rov chasto Baruch adei ad shem tilato Meitim yechayel le'rov chasto Baruch adei ad shem tilato.
I have one that's half wall, Shabbat has rails, so it only goes left and
I would
right.
say
And I'm
it's-
supposed to balance like this right?
On the flat side.
On the flat
So on the
side.
outside, you
On-
can't bend like this. You can even do this. You can hold it if you need to, right? And then when you do the flat side, right? Every side. On the flat side, when you get strong, you use weights. And you can do squats. And you can even do curls.
So they have me on the doing the squats, but just on the one that goes left and right. It doesn't go all the way around.
Well, this doesn't do that. It's,
Okay.
you know,
You're on the
You're on the flat side.
Yeah. And then I have the other one that is it goes all the way around, but I can stand on it. It's to practice making my foot go
just,
full mobility all the way around. I can't. I'm like I'll say 80% around right now. Like this part I can't quite. I'm not.
it's not meant to do that.
Right. But it's got to stand.
So you have to
It's standing to
at some point, if you can stand on it with one leg and balance.
So I can do
What they have you
that.
do is, they had a little picture and have all the way to and you throw it, try to stay.
There's also I see the other people doing it is you stand on something that's like a little mushy but not a ball, like mushy, and then you're supposed to touch the top of the cone. It's like this. I can't even do it on a flat surface because I don't have the balance yet. So I'm like that's it. You touch all the cones, come back, all the way around, and then you know with each foot all the way around. I see them doing it. I'm not there yet.
I just still haven't even
Oh yeah, twice a week. I went today already. I wasn't like I was exercising before, you know. This is a full body newness for me. Yeah, it is. We got an exercise bike, so I have to get in the habit of using it. I've used it a few times.
Ethan, what happened?
It's contagious. You see, Ethan?
What happened? You stubbed your toe.
You said contagious.
It's just like,
Oh, I thought you were doing
like
this.
a buckle fracture, which is where your bone kind of bends a little bit, doesn't break, so it's stubbed. He has a bad
There's no
stubborn
follow-up.
pinky toe.
When he's feeling better,
Supposed
it's
to
better.
keep, this just helps it to
Yeah,
not
my
be
wife
bent,
had that.
it's not bended.
I was like, come on, you pick tick stock. She's like, give me one more.
Yeah.
Have you seen John Gallios?
And then,
Mike has been swamped with work,
yeah, sorry.
and I really needed him to kind of take
This
those
weekend
two.
we'll
Oh, and also Mike's parents were away.
No, my parents have
They
been
just
away,
got
so I
back
couldn't get
yesterday.
any games. I didn't even know
So
people
we,
were coming.
he literally started filling it out before we came.
I know. So tell them I need to go in. I don't think I have a go in LA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna confirm with my parents, and then we'll have. It's just gonna be us, my parents, my sister,
And then for the non, like the things
and
that
then
are
and
for
then
non-Jew,
just
then
open
you
the
go my
doors.
parents.
So I don't think we're.
No, it's good.
It's
Yeah,
not gonna
we're
be
like
like
vaguely there. It's gonna be fine. We know what the rules are. I know. If you see it before I do, apologize. It's coming.
We're trying to figure out how to.
We got.
I've had them, so I